Cutting-edge performance group Concert Nova has been called Cincinnati's music lab and chamber music playground. Since 2007, this ensemble has been creating memorable experiences for audiences all around Cincinnati. Here with me today is founding member and managing artistic director Ixie Chen and artistic director Ted Nelson. So welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you on the couch. This is great. So Ixie, what is Concert Nova and how is it different from traditional chamber ensembles?
Concert Nova is a group that likes to explore other art forms as it can be a commentary for the music that we like to make. Chamber music is something that's very intimate and a conversation between anywhere between 2 to maybe 15 people. And we wanted to expand the conversation to include other artists and also get their perspective on our music.
That's really cool. And you talked about this collaboration, and speaking of collaboration, I understand the artistic collaboration is very important. So Ted, can you tell me about what type of collaborations you've done in the past?
We have explored a lot of different areas of collaboration in the past. We have had an ongoing series where we collaborate with restaurants and local chefs and curate programs of chamber music, which then inspire the menu for the evening. We have done multiple programs with dancers from the Cincinnati Ballet, where we've had original choreography to traditional ballet music. We've had choreography to music that is not traditionally danced to.
So Ixie, because Ted talked about the collaborations. So how do you guys come up with these concepts for these like interdisciplinary performances?
Oh, we could be having coffee one day and just say, oh, wouldn't it be neat if... And then that's a dangerous conversation to have because then suddenly it's, wow, this would be a wild idea to do. We could have somebody write a response to a piece that everyone knows. What if we did that in conjunction with dancers? So I think building from the inspiration of a beautiful piece of music and where we can take it. And sometimes the experiments they work well, and sometimes people say, well, that was a miss. But I think it's in the process of experimentation and working with different art forms together often will create something very unique and special.
So do you have any like audience members who come in and they're expecting this very traditional chamber music and then all of a sudden they get this experiment and what's their response to it?
Well, I think people are generally want to be adventurous. They are ready, I believe, for something new and different, and not necessarily just for the sake of being new and different, but just to have an additional perspective on the music. Classical music can tend to be very two-dimensional when you come into a music hall and sit and watch and then leave. But what if we had dialogue, and what if we invited the audience member to take part in an interactive, more engaging conversation?
So that's really cool. And so this whole notion of collaboration and transformation, what do you think it's done for the Cincinnati art scene as far as transforming how people are perceiving art and performance?
I think that we were on the front edge of some trends that seem to be taking hold. Another aspect of what we do is we perform in non-traditional venues as far as classical chamber music is concerned. So we have performed in churches and nightclubs and libraries and warehouse spaces. And we've noticed that trend catching on with other groups, which is great. I mean, but it's fun to be on the front edge too.
So Ted, I wanted to talk a little bit about your educational outreach, because that seems to be a really important part of what you guys are doing in the community, and also inspiring new artists. So can you give us a little bit?
I'm going to defer to Ixie on this question.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I love deferring. That's good.
Well, we have always been very community-minded and looking to make connections within the arts community. And the question always arises, what can we do as citizens of our city and our region? And one of the projects that we've always been interested in undertaking is an educational and community engagement series. And so we began 3 years ago with Next Generation, which is to train pre-professional, up-and-coming young musicians who are music students to learn how to create interactive performances in schools and go out and engage with the community at a level that we in the symphony can't necessarily do based on our schedule. So they learn how to be entrepreneurs. They learn how to fundraise, what a 501c3 is, what a board meeting looks like, even engaging in marketing help or behind the scenes at performances. So this group, we now have 5 different ensembles participating, and they have been doing performances of their own, and we hope that as an incubator, this can help music majors say, wow, there's life other than orchestral musician, a future other than playing in an orchestra. And now we've started partnering with SCPA and the Cincinnati Public Schools to serve underprivileged children who can't necessarily afford to take music lessons. So it's a very exciting time right now. We're looking to expand this program.
That's really great. I mean, I think that's really important for the next generation of artists and art makers. And you guys are creating a platform for it, and also creating a place for an audiences to be adventurous, which is great. So Ixie and Ted, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you sharing the story of Concert Nova with our audience. It's great.
Thank you.